Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the You Haven't Seen That Movie podcast, a bi-weekly podcast where my guests and I watch a famous movie I've never seen before and discuss it. This week, we're talking about Digimon The Movie, a 2000 classic. I'm your host, David Lonnie Waters, and in my guest chair today, we have Raciel Camargo. Hey, Raciel, how's it going?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. We're connecting remotely. I actually got the gear to, well, not really. I just connect my phone to my handheld recorder, so it's nothing crazy, but now I can actually just call people and record it, so it's quite awesome.
Oh, awesome. Perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, Raciel, I want to give an explanation of how we know each other, but that's kind of hard because we really haven't known each other. I don't think we've been I think maybe we have been formally introduced, but I can't remember when.
I know we have, I just don't remember when.
I know I went to school with your brother, Jonathan, your younger brother, right?
Yes.
He's quite the character.
Yes, you can say that.
Speaking of family, you're also a twin as well with Eduardo. I'm a twin as well. So,
yeah, I think the first time when we met each other was, I think maybe Marie. No, actually, Marie was not the one to mention it because I feel like Marie was also forgot. But yeah, she forgot to mention it because obviously I'm a twin and you're a twin, so it's it would be a thing he's a twin too. But yeah.
Do you have the mind reading power? I feel that I have with my twin Tanya.
The what?
Not mind reading power, but I know how she feels. I know if she's happy or sad. I feel like it's always a gut feeling. Do you not have that with Eduardo?
No, do you have to be in the room? You don't have to be in the room with her to know that, or
no, not really. I mean,
no, I do not. We don't have that. We're total opposites.
Well, maybe it's the. Wait, y'all are identical twins, right?
Yes, we are identical.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's a fraternal thing.
Maybe, but I don't know. Obviously shows are fake and stuff, but all these shows and they're always they're twins, they're best friends. I was that's the furthest from the truth for us. We're obviously we love each other and stuff, right? Growing up, but he's a lot closer to Jonathan, my other brother, and they're always hanging out and stuff. They're always online playing. But no, we're total opposites, and we do not, we don't have that.
Interesting. Yeah, we hated each other when we were growing up, but I think it was whenever she went into the army, and then I went into college at UNT, and then we kind of had that moment away from one another. So when we came back, we were friends. Essentially, it's we had been through war or something together.
Yeah, no, because Eduardo got married and stuff, and he moved out and whatnot. But and whenever I would go to visit them, it was easier to talk to him. We were always fighting. Because whenever we would live with our parents and stuff, we were always fighting. But there was that time apart thing. So that we weren't always whenever we talked to her, it was it was not to fight, right? It was just nice to talk and whatever. But it's still not best friend. Let me call you, tell me about my day or anything.
Oh Lord! And doing the podcast with him, I can only imagine that's y'all butt heads a little bit, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, we have. I've had to, stop myself. Cause I'm you know what? I don't think the listeners should be hey, let's listen to us fighting. No one's around.
Right, yeah, that's though it is fun in the moment to pick on, that's maybe not good for an audience.
Yeah, I've heard, I've listened to podcasts and, at least it was I think it was 2 weeks ago I was listening to one, and they're best friends, and they were fighting, but I couldn't tell if it was playful, if it was they both knew they were both in on it, or if it was a real fight.
Ooh.
And I was just like, I'm a little uncomfortable.
Unsubscribe. Not having that.
So I was like, oh. So I was like, good thing that we don't have that.
Right. Oh,
we control ourselves sometimes. We stop ourselves sometimes.
I've noticed. I'm actually a really big fan of y'all's podcast. Speaking of your podcast, the shit you don't care about podcast, I quite enjoy it. I didn't catch up. I'm all the way caught up, but like the last like maybe hour of this latest one that y'all did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're talking about like jobs and stuff. And
yeah.
I was trying to. Maria and I hadn't hung out for a while, so I was trying to catch up on what she was doing.
Catch up on her,
so to speak.
Catch up on her.
Well, I mean, you too, I guess. Like, yeah. I always like you and Eduardo's dynamic, especially with. I was reading y'all's description the other day, and it said like the Camargo triplets, and I was like, oh my god, that could not be more true between the three of y'all.
It was just funny. Like, do you know the story about that or no?
Say what?
Do you know the story about the triplet things?
No.
The triplet thing? No.
Tell me.
So, we all went to NCTC, this community college, where we took a class together, all three of us, Maria, Eduardo, and I. We were in biology, and the teacher saw our last name. She's like, oh, y'all triplets? And we're like, what? So we just looked at each other, and I think it was maybe Maria. She was like, yeah, like just joking, but she believed us. And so, I'm gonna just straight up tell you, like, I am not good at school. Like, biology sucked. I had to take that class like 3 times. But anyways,
I failed. Major in science.
I failed exactly. So I failed that class. So I tried again, and but it was like a late class. I only met like twice, so like I couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. So I didn't pass that class either. So I took it again with the original teacher, and then she stopped me one time. And she's like, "Oh, can you come meet me in my office hours or whatever?" One time, and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Okay,
and then she's like, "I know you." I was like, "Yeah, I know." I think you recognize me because she was also like telling me like, "I know you got to take this class before. Like, just see what anything I could help you like pass it this time or whatever." And then she was like, "How's your brother and sister?" And I was like, "Sister?" I was like, "What?" In my head, and she's like, and I was like, "Oh shit, we told her that Maria's our sister, that she's our triplet, and we're triplets." I completely forgot about that.
Oh, that's a good story. That's a good story. Was she old, like dementia looking old lady, or was she capable old lady?
No, she wasn't like super old. Maybe like 50 or something. 50.
Probably pre-stages of dementia.
Probably.
she didn't even know who you were. So
yeah.
Jeez. So Raciel, how have you been? How's this last week been for you?
It was spring break at work, so like there wasn't that much, so it was fine.
Oh yeah. Same for us. This last week, I work in higher ed, so like spring break is a thing, and people get the fuck out of there. So it's been really slow on that part.
That's good, yeah. And because when we have full episodes and mini episodes, and we record those at the same day. They just come out during the week. So luckily, like after we finished recording, I was able to edit all that stuff like that same day. So I was able to have some time off. Nice.
That was a really fun thing because I do everything myself here with the podcast, and at least with this last episode or these last couple episodes, I've done them. I've edited them the next day, and I'm like, "Ooh, don't get to do anything for like the next week or so when I got to record again."
That's like the best feeling because we record every 2 weeks, so I'm like, I know when we're recording and when I have to have things done. So it's like having both of those done before okay, how do I say this? We record on a Sunday, and then our episode that we recorded last time comes out that Tuesday. So it's like the way it worked out. Like I had 3 episodes already like scheduled and everything before one of them came out. So I was like, I have all this time off, which is nice.
Which one comes out first, the longer one or the shorter one?
Yeah, the longer one.
Oh, I see. Huh? Wow. Dang. How long do y'all go usually?
I've always wanted to have like a set time, but Eduardo was like, no, I don't like those. So I'm like, well, it's all 3 of our podcasts. So I'm like, we just go until we finish. Like we've had maybe 2 2.5 hours for one of them one time, but I had to cut it down. I was like, this is too long.
Yeah, I think it was the one with Kyle or one of the ones with
Yeah.
excuse me, with him. And I was like, that was one of the movie ones. I was very honored that y'all did 3 episodes in movie fashion. That made me feel really good. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. Great idea.
it bought you a little time, I'm sure.
Yes, it really did.
So Eduardo, let's go ahead and move on. What have you been watching as of late?
Hold on. Did you call me Eduardo?
Oh, I sure did. You
know what? I gotta go. Bye.
Oh, Maria's gonna forever never forget that, and I'm sure you won't either.
Well, okay. So I was before we because we had asked Maria to ask you if we can release her episode from your podcast on our feed. I was listening to it, and I remember. She was saying, I think you were asking about who was older, Eduardo and I, and then Maria was like, I think Eduardo's older because Raciel always brings it up that Eduardo's the oldest. And I was at work yelling. I was like, Maria, there's no way there's no way Maria cannot know that I'm the older one. I don't know why she thinks Eduardo's the older one.
Oh my
We've known each other for 20, however old Maria is, years.
Do you know?
Maria and I were closer.
Do you know how long it took before? Because Tanya and I, we were 3 minutes apart, and I was older.
3 minutes?
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Okay. Let's see here. Eduardo was 2 hours later.
Jesus Christ! He just did not want to come out.
No, he was like, "Let me take my sweet time here." When Mom was over there struggling, Eduardo was like, "No, I'm gonna be here."
I can see that he is very stubborn headed. I get from the podcast, and that birth story definitely makes sense. Goes along with that same view.
I thought that was a normal thing because obviously we knew that we were because we would see the birth certificate and stuff. We thought that was a 2-hour thing was normal until they would ask and they'd be like, what's the time separation? I was like, for 2 hours, and they're always like, what? Your poor mom. And I'm like, what? What? And then I hear other twins are like, 3 minutes or something like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, 2 hours.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's crazy. That's a story to tell.
No. Okay, but what was I watching? What am I watching?
Sorry, Raciel, what were you watching? Not Eduardo, Jesus.
What was I watching? Okay, I'm watching Drag Race.
Oh, yeah.
There's a million seasons. I'm watching them all at the same time. This current season is a million episodes long, and there's still a million more episodes.
Oh, nice.
I was catching up. Do you know Good Trouble?
No.
Have you heard of that show?
Mm-mm.
Have you heard of The Fosters? It was on ABC Family.
No,
or Freeform. Okay. Well, there's a spin-off show to that one show. I was catching up on that.
Oh.
What else was I watching?
You know what, Maria? Maria didn't get me into it, but I started to watch this show on Netflix called Bling Empire. It's that reality TV show with the rich Asians.
Oh, it's reality?
Yeah.
I thought it was fake. No, I've heard about it. I haven't seen it. I've seen clips, but I thought it was.
Is it fake?
Scripted for some reason.
Oh shit! They definitely threw me for a loop if that's the case.
You might be right, though. You might be right.
Now, the moment we get done with this, I'm going to look up and see if it's fake or not. But nonetheless, I've been watching
so I believe you more than... You've actually seen it, though, so I believe you more than I believe myself.
Oh, okay. It's a Jersey Shore or something like that.
Okay.
So...
Oh, well, I've also been watching the new Pokemon show, the series on Netflix.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know this is the opposite of Pokemon.
It's perfect because that's kind of the reason why I wanted to do the episode today is because we mentioned my horrible. I don't know if you listened to this last episode, but I had a horrible dream of one of the Digimons whenever I was growing up.
Oh no, I haven't. I haven't listened to the Pokemon one yet.
And so that's why I wanted to do this one is to just conquer my fear of this one Pokemon or Pokemon. Jesus, this Digimon. I can't remember. It's the Matt, the one with the blue and white Koromon or something like that. Britton was telling
the original one or the dog. The wolf one.
The wolf with so it's not the one I instantly think of is like the one that's like waist high, has a unicorn horn and is blue and white, and then he evolves into something else, and it's that wolf one after it. I did pick up on a little Digimon lingo while I watched this movie. So I don't know, champion level or something like that. I sound like a huge nerd, but
no, I get those mixed up for some reason. Like the level, the names of the level. Especially since I haven't really seen any Digimon things in a while. But Agumon, that's what it is.
Yeah, Gabumon.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I definitely wanted to watch this. But Eduardo, let's kind of get through some podcast updates. There's not much, and then we'll kind of dig into Digimon the movie a little bit further. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
So listener voicemail. I was this close last night. I got really drunk, and I was like seconds away from calling my own voicemail. Next week, this next 2 weeks, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get a little something. But listener voicemail, it's really easy. It's 2 clicks, both on Facebook and on Instagram. Just go to the profile and click call. It's that simple. And we're also on YouTube as well. You can go check us out there. No video yet, but there's some people who just pop it on, and I know I'm a freak with YouTube. So,
are you uploading the audio for your podcast on there? Or what are you doing on YouTube?
Yeah, it's pretty much that. It's just I'll put the movie poster on there and put my logo right beside it, and I would do the waveform if it didn't like slow down my computer to like a crawl.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I was about to say Eduardo again.
You did say it before, and I didn't correct you. So I was like, no, I don't do it.
That's very sweet of you, but you should correct me, Lord. Raciel, have you seen Digimon the movie before?
Yes, I have. I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah. Were you really into Digimon whenever you were younger?
Yeah, I actually like Digimon more than Pokemon. Like, I remember specifically remember in 3rd grade getting in trouble with my friend because of that. I had this other friend that liked Digimon too, and I think I mentioned it that I like Digimon more than Pokemon, and then my friend was mad at me, and then my other friend's like, yeah, he's mad at you because you said that you like Digimon more than Pokemon. And I was like, what? Okay.
Classic 3rd grade advice, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a controversial opinion. I don't think you should go around telling people that one.
Oh, I mean, I like Pokemon. I really do. Like, I'm watching the show. Like, I have the games on the Switch.
True.
For some reason, Digimon. There's something about Digimon that for some reason in my head I like it more. But even though like I consume more like Pokemon media, like shows or games and stuff.
To be fair, there is more to ingest with Pokemon.
That is true.
Compared with Digimon, but yeah.
True.
Bryn was telling me that there was this recently some anime style Digimon that came out, and she said that was pretty dope.
Yes, I actually thought it was really good too. I see this is where like I'm like contradicting myself. Like I haven't seen those yet. So like you know what? I might just turn out. It might turn out that I actually don't like Digimon at the end of this episode. I don't know.
Classic. So for me personally, yeah, I was telling you just a little bit earlier that Gabumon or whatever, this wolf. To recap from last episode, let me relive my nightmare. Gabumon, like the wolf form, like was standing up on its hind legs, and I had really, really bad dreams when I was growing up, and I occasionally I still do. They kind of like cut off whenever I was in college. I kind of stopped having dreams, but I don't even remember why. But Excuse me. And I just remember from my childhood one recurring dream. I would have it like at least every other night. Probably, I don't know. There's maybe at least 10, 11, something like that. We lived here in Denton, and this wolf Digimon came up, and he was standing on his hind legs, but it wasn't one of his like front paws was a screw arm instead, and he would begin to unscrew the screws in my window slowly, and like he'd be looking at me the whole time, and he'd be unscrewing, and then he'd eventually get in and like lunge towards me, and that's when I would wake up, and that bitch recurred for many years.
Years?
Yeah, for years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna conquer my fear. I'm gonna watch some Digimon. But it's weird because leading into my next point is that it's odd because all of the names there's Digimon. Okay. One of my gripes with Digimon is that every single one ends in Mon, and I just want to lose my fucking mind.
I feel like, I don't know when this came out versus Pokemon, but I want to say, I just feel like it has something to do, like, we're going to, like, make it obvious that we're not Pokemon by naming all of them. All their names end in Mon. Like, right?
Right.
Yeah, for some reason, like, growing up, that was always a thing in my head, like, that's why they're doing it, so they don't come. So they're trying to like differentiate themselves from Pokemon. But yes.
But wouldn't you think though it would make you think of Pokemon because Pokemon the word ends in Mon, same as Digimon as well. Maybe that was just a thing in the 90s. I don't even know.
I don't know, but I think it's just I don't necessarily think it's just because like Mon, but I think it's just that they're trying to figure out like how do we change instead of just having like random names. Like let's just so it can be different from Pokemon. Let's just make sure that all of them end in Mon, which I mean, yeah, it kind of does remind me of Pokemon.
yeah, it's really odd, but nonetheless, I'll get to it a little bit later. But this movie, it kind of swayed my opinion on Digimon a little bit. But
what was your opinion before?
With my reoccurring dream, I thought they were frightening. So, I mean, okay, so we had my sisters, I believe, watched it, and it was tangentially around whenever we were growing older. But it's funny, whenever I was watching this movie, I noticed visually all of the Digimon that appeared. I like Agumon, that dinosaur one's very familiar. I always remember his one with like the brown skull, and then he would transform into like the brown skull one with like metal on him, and then like the crazy one afterwards.
Greymon, metal Greymon,
yeah. And I had like known these ones even throughout the movie, even the one with like Caramon with the big ears and flying around. Every one that I saw, I instantly remembered them. I don't know if that was because my sisters were watching this or whatnot, or I was just around it with like people who were watching it. I didn't know the names, but I knew what they looked like, so it was quite interesting watching this.
Yeah, I think there was maybe like two that I didn't remember. That I remember when I saw them, but like I just have seen them to like remember them because like all the other ones like I remember. I forgot his name. Agumon, and Greymon, all those, and yeah, I remember all of them.
Yeah, they're visually striking, to be honest. Really, each time, one thing I enjoy, another thing I enjoy. I'll go ahead and tell you this now. Like whenever they digivolve, I like that little sequence that it does. Every time. It's very eye catching, I guess.
There was one thing, like one like thing that I hated though, like whenever on the show, and they had like 5 or 6 Digivolve. they had to have all of them went through that same little sequence, one after the other. I'm like, yeah, couldn't I just put all 6 of them on the screen? They have them digivolve at once. Like, it was wasting so much time.
Right? Yeah, they're just eating up time. They're eating up time.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like Yu-Gi-Oh. They would just like draw out battles. Like one battle would last. One battle could either last for like a half an episode, or one battle could last for like 6 full episodes.
I was going back on just like old episodes on Netflix of Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was like, this battle lasts 4 episodes? It's like part 1, 2, 3, 4. I was like, are you kidding me? I don't. Why does it take so long? Yeah. One battle on Yu-Gi-Oh.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh. It's a good one. That's a conversation for another time. So let's go ahead and jump into the plot. This film, it's split up into like 3 acts. Akari, the sister of Tai, is the narrator rather than, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Tai is the kind of like the main character of the TV show, but like the sister is the main character of this movie. Kind of. Yeah. So she kind of gives like a brief introduction into like the Digimon world. She explains the existence of Digimon and that they're like monsters created from computer data and like live in this digital world or whatever the fuck. You know, whenever I first started this, I was still in that mindset of I don't give a shit. So, but you know, it changed. But so this takes us like into the first act, and it's like with Tai, her brother, the main character of the TV show, and then the sister when she's like baby. Like they get this egg from their dad's computer. I don't know why these eggs hatch from computers, but
digital world. It didn't make sense.
Yeah, I just had to run with it at this point. So, so they find this egg, and then like Tai awakens in the middle of the night, and then sees this like really small black one called Parrotmon, and then the child. I say that I think of the Mandalorian, but that's besides the point. But the little like black one, Parrotmon, and then Kari start to bond. And after like multiple electrical surges, this egg turns into, or this black thing turns into like this pink bouncing one, and then into Agumon.
Oh yeah.
From that point, like Kari like jumps on the back of Agumon and like jumps into the street. It was weird because this one was like a like really simple-minded one. Like I thought Digimon were supposed to be smart, and this one's like really brutish.
Yeah, but I remember the first time watching it, I thought it was the Agumon that Tai had originally.
Same though. That was one of the things that really confused me.
Well, I know that there's 3 acts to this movie because they took parts from 3 different short films.
Right.
Like short ones. So like, I want to say, I actually haven't seen those. But I'm sure it's almost the same as this movie.
Right. Yeah. I could.
I think they're just introducing Digimon, and then like later they're like, oh, here, we're gonna give you the same Digimon, but this one's not as simple-minded.
Yeah. Like, I guess maybe to give the audience a like brief introduction, just in case like these kids drug their mom or something.
Yeah,
they need to like grab a drink or something. You know, like these drunk ass moms taking these kids to go watch Digimon. Like, okay, glug glug, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
So Agumon like jumps down and Tai pursues them. I like this part because she's like Kari is like narrating, and they go past these soda machines. It's like, my mom gets me some of these sometimes. Agumon like slaps it, and she's like, we're only gonna take one, okay though. I was like,
those are so funny to me because I'm like, I mean, to me, it's I mean, I don't know if it's actually true or not, but to me, like, I think in the original like Japanese version, they're saying something that makes sense, but in here, like, it doesn't translate as well, I'm assuming. So like they had to add in like these like little bits, and because there's always like funny things sometimes, like that one for example, or I can't remember the other ones, but there's some where I'm like, I feel like they added that because the mouth is still moving, and they already translated as much as they could, but the Japanese people are still talking on the original one. So like, let me add just some audio, some little funny.
It's like it's always when their back is turned or something like that. Yeah. Like the lips specifically are unsynced.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be a really hard job for like I don't know exactly what they call those people. Not translators. I'm sure it'll come to me later, but nonetheless. They do have localizers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a bitch of a job, especially if you're going to draw the mouth movements like over them already. But anyways, so Typer System in this happening, a like big digi egg in the sky, which there was no computer around, so your theory from earlier just gets thrown out. This like egg like hatches in the sky and releases this one Digimon called Parrotmon, and I have a real fucking problem with the name Parrotmon. How fucking stupid.
What do you mean? It's so clever. Like, come on, Parrotmon. You would never guess that that's a parrot Digimon.
Right? Never in my life. Not the, like, canary-looking one, right? Oh, my God. Nonetheless. Yeah. The Parrotmon starts to like attack Agumon, or just like starts to like start chaos or whatever. Parrotmon like destroys an overpass that Agumon and Kari and eventually Tai shows up, and like Agumon like protects them. So, which is nice, touching, classy. You gotta add some little human emotion in there. So. Nonetheless, after like pops up from this rubble, as I read from the plot that it was called Red Greymon and not Greymon, and I don't know the fucking difference. They look the exact same. But I think this is what like is connecting what you said earlier. Where it's not, it wasn't that one's not Tai's.
Yeah.
Original Digimon, that he like they're both named Agumon, but that's not his Agumon. It's really confusing. Nonetheless,
I think there's only one Agumon in the digital world.
No. From what they were saying, there's like two of them.
Okay.
I think that's where it gets a little like. This is one of my dislikes with the movie, is that it's a little vague on that matter, and it kind of distracted me a little bit, but. I kind of gave up at some point, but yeah. So like Greymon now, which is actually one of my favorite lines from this movie. I actually put it in the notes. Ties like Koromon, the one that like the tiny pink one that he knew and that was like hugging his face and kissing him. He's like, Koromon. He's like, I'm Greymon now. He's like, dude, you can be whatever you want, big guy. Yeah. And I was like, Sam, yo, you gotta fight this like parrot thing. But nonetheless, that was like, I had this like battle with him, and Greymon ends up destroying Parrotmon, and that's when we kind of transition into the second act, and Kari kind of gives this narration of like who the Digidestined are. It's just like a group of like 7 or 8 kids who. I don't know. In researching Digimon, I watched the first episode of the original cartoon series, and there's like some asteroid that, or something from the sky drops these like tiny digi devices that I should have realized it. It's Tamagotchis. That's where Digimon comes from originally. It's Tamagotchis. I think I'm saying that wrong. Tamagotchis?
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah. Cause I remember they would have like the Digivice toys, and you had to like with the Tamagotchi, you had to like walk with them, right?
Right.
Is it kind of like a step counter thing?
I'd have to do some research on it, but that's what I remember from like researching it. But
Yeah,
he's
that's
like Tamagotchis like fall from the sky and then they get Digimon. So that's who the Digi-destined are. They're just there to very Christ-like in their matter, trying to purge the digital world of evil. But
these 8 little kids,
right? Yeah. Judas is one of them somewhere in there.
That's the second season.
What'd you say?
That's the second season.
Yeah. Continuing on. So that's where like it kind of picks up with most of the Digidestined are like on vacation. It's really only Izzy, the computer whiz, and then Ty, the main character of the original TV show. There's multiple versions or generations, just like Pokemon. So he spots a computer virus that somehow appeared on the internet. They're not sure exactly how, but Izzy, along with a lot of other people in the world, watched this Digi-Egg like get attacked by a virus and causes it to hatch, and it starts by like saying hello. Like sends just a very ominous hello email too.
Yeah. For some reason, it just, I mean, I don't remember, because I didn't have internet until maybe like high school at my house. And even then it was like dial-up, right? So I remember like in 3rd grade, whenever Digimon was around, how big the internet was. So to me, I'm just assuming that they're like nobody really knows that much about the internet, so let's just make things up. Like this virus shows up and people are emailing them, and then it shows all this other stuff. I don't know.
I think maybe that was the fascination with Digimon too. It was like, we're trying to figure out the internet, and maybe there's this digital world or whatever the fuck. A little bit later on, it kind of it's so fucking odd. They power up or slow down the Digimon based on who's emailing them. I wanted to like turn it off then, but I was like, oh my god. But so yeah, a montage like follows. I've mentioned this, like the Digidestined, they're like on vacation or whatever, and it's only Ty and Izzy. Izzy like tells Ty, he goes over to Ty's house, which I thought one of the funniest parts of this movie was when Izzy went over to Ty's house and his mom was like making him all these like weird concoctions. One of them was like what was it, beef jerky slush, not a slush or something, like a smoothie. I was like, ew, that sounds awful. And then
I was disgusted by it. I was like, no.
She said, like, get you another glass of potato juice.
Yeah, I was like, what is she making?
Yeah, and like, a little bit later on, he runs off to the bathroom and like pain, getting cramps, and I'm like, oh yeah, he maybe shouldn't have eat all that. So continuing on, that like Digimon suddenly evolves. I don't think they had a name for it just then, but now resembled like a cycloptic claw-handed thing, and it starts to like literally devour computer data. I tried to like visually show that in the movie. It was kind of odd. It looked like Pac-Man. He was just starting to eat like just bits of data. I'm like, okay.
Was it eating like ones and zeros?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It was like it's a Pac-Man, the Pac-Man form. I was like, okay.
That was funny. I liked that. I kind of gave it to myself. Which causes actually, it starts to devour the computer data and causes like prices at supermarkets to like triple, and then like people at the register are like, I remember the one little section, there was this man, he like was at like the convenience store getting a soda, and the ma'am scans it and she's like, yeah, that'll be $1 million. And he's like, whoa, like, I don't think.
And she was like, she didn't think anything of it. She's like, oh, I guess the price went up. And I was like, oh, what? Like,
that was a good one.
That makes perfect sense, lady.
Oh, that was a good one. I did laugh out loud to that one. That one was good. But in response, like Izzy takes like Ty's computer and his computer and like networks them together. I'm not a technological
no, I don't know either.
person. So,
but I remember that part. I was like, that looks so cool. Like them taking it, because I didn't have a computer or laptop or internet, and I was like, that's so cool. They're like connecting this and doing all this. I'm like, wow, that looks cool.
His wire management, just like mine. We were talking earlier about my wire management, and since we're doing this remotely, it's god awful. And his was definitely god awful. He was like just yanking cords out from. I didn't even think they were cords. Could be and shit, but. That was quite fun. But they get online and they discovered that the Digimon evolved again, now into like a creepier looking one called Caramon. I can't even. This evil one went through so many forms in this movie. I could probably only tell you a few of them.
Yeah, see with like his evolution form, like the little chart that goes.
The one I think. Here in a second, like after, so Agumon is Tiny's partner, and then Izzy's partner is like that insect one, the red one that kind of looks like a what is that, a ladybug? No. A ladybug. And they like attack it, but then they confront him, and then they get defeated or something, and that's when Caramon, this evil one, turns into what I know, it's called Untitled. It's like this armored spider looking one, and which was actually a little intimidating. I was like, I don't want to see that. Oh, I see. Hate spiders,
and then I think it's about to happen, but like whenever with emails, whenever he like slows him down, and he's like slowly turning his head, like looking at the screen. I was like, oh, I don't like this. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's a little nightmarish. So yeah, like Izzy he like realizes that this thing is like skipping stages in the evolution chain, or like the did oh god, I'm gonna like stutter my way through this digi evolution chain. He realizes that he's skipping stages in the digi oh my god, digi, I'm just gonna skip it. But it now realizes that he's like at his ultimate form. So like this, like
I'm looking at the chart, like the Digi-evolution chart chain right now, and there's a Caramon, and that's the one that I've never seen that one in my life, so that's the one that he skipped. Because it goes from Caramon, that little creepy long hand
right
one, to the Infirmon.
Yeah, the spider looking one.
Yeah.
I think, okay, so there is actually a second movie where this one, like this enemy comes back, so maybe he shows up in that one.
Oh.
Now I kind of want to watch the second one.
Like recently, or around that time when this one came out?
It was definitely probably back in early 2000s that it came out. I remember whenever I was researching, I just saw it in passing.
Oh dang! Okay.
But because of that, this like insect creature starts like shut down phones, so like the telephone systems go down, and Agumon and all of them get like beaten the fuck up, and get really fucked up. They mega evolve into like War Greymon and Metal Garurumon. I actually remember this one because it reminded me of some like you always see those memes on Facebook, like the mosquitoes in Texas be like, and I always think of this Metal Garurumon, just like this weird hulking fly looking thing with a metal helmet. And I'm like, oh, this is the
well, did Metal Garurumon scare you more because of it looks like this Garurumon but with wings and bear?
This movie was filled with nightmare fuel for me for years to come.
Dang. Sorry about that.
Oh no.
I'll see if we can pay for therapy or something.
I don't think you have enough money for that.
We'll just go specifically for this one stream.
Right, yes. We'll address this issue, and then I'll let you know when we're done with that one. So let's see. So I guess like Warmon and Greymon like start to. No, I can't remember exactly what happened. I feel like
don't they fight? Or doesn't he digivolve the virus to a bigger one, right? And that's when they start fighting him.
Right. So I think that both of the good Digimon, they start to like form together, and then they get knocked out of it, like before they can digivolve. And that's when the spider one starts to multiply, and then it sends that email to Lucy, and he's like, "Can you count backwards from 10?" And then he starts to like clone himself infinitely. And I was like, "Ooh, stakes are getting a little higher."
And that's when they're trying to get in contact with TK and Matt, the other two of the other ones, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, one of the people that were so this thing starts to multiply, and they figure out the 2 nukes have been launched, and one's going to Colorado where Matt and TK are, and then the second is going to Ty's neighborhood where Izzy and Ty are. And let's see. That's when, after both good Digimon are down, Ty's bond with Greymon is so strong that it allows him to enter the internet and become digital. Same happening with Matt. And that's when they like, this movie had so many like things that I didn't understand, which I was like a little annoyed with, but it kind of kept me going because I wanted to see what was going to happen next.
Was it that part right there, with them going into the digital world?
Yeah. So you're right. They do connect with TK and Matt. TK has that one jelly bean looking one with like the wings for ears.
I love TK and Parrotmon.
Oh really? Is that your favorite one?
Yeah, that's this little plushie thing that I have on my bed. My friends gave it to me for my birthday last year.
Oh, nice.
Parrotmon one. And then cause I went to UNT too, and I had sculpture, and we had to make something out of wood and something out of aluminum. And the wood thing, I made a digi egg of Parrotmon out of a wood thing, and then my aluminum thing I made TK's crest, because each of them has like a crest, like crest of friendship or stuff like that. TK's is a crest of hope. So I made that little aluminum, and I glued it onto my my wooden like digi egg, and then during critique he was like, it was our final one. So it was me and the professor are by ourselves, and he was like, if you were to put the wing over here or something like that, and in my head I'm like, yeah, no, I made this for this isn't art. This isn't art. I'm making a digi egg. I'm not trying to make something into art.
My question is did you fail or pass that class?
I passed.
Okay, all right. I like that. That's a good story. That's awesome. This is definitely a side story, but that's definitely a nerdy thing that you did. I remember this one time I also did a nerdy thing in my technical writing class at UNT. I'm really into the games like Civilization, where it's like city building. And there was this technical writing presentation that I had to do, and I was like, yeah, you can let kids play Civilization and they get to learn politics in class. And I really bullshitted my way through it. I eventually like passed the class, but it was just funny that reminded me of it. But nonetheless, that's awesome. Do you still have it?
Yeah, it's in my living room.
Nice. I'm definitely gonna have to see that before I die.
I'm trying to figure out a way to like hang it up on the wall, because he told me like if you just screw, if you make a hole at an angle, you were able to put a nail on the wall at an angle, just slide it in. But like I could never figure it out, so I was like, right now, just sitting on top of a vase, hoping it doesn't fall.
That's awesome. You definitely send me a pic of that. I'll have to throw that up on the old Facebooks and Instagrams. That would be a good one. So yeah. So after that, let's see. After both good Digimon are down, Ty's bond with Greymon was so strong that allowed him to go into the Digi. With data from the emails, they both fused together into one Digimon named Omnimon and takes out Diboromon. I guess we skip from Diboromon. Fuck, dude. Okay, so that's one of my problems with the movie is that like they digivolve so much that it's hard to keep up with like.
I think it's also a problem because they're like, I think they might have cut things out too because it was 3 separate films and they just merged it into one for us over here. Mm-hmm. I think they did cut out things. So I think I haven't seen them, but it's like the Japanese version, like the original one. So I don't know.
Right.
But I know I did hear that they did cut out like a bunch of stuff. So I wonder if they cut out too much, where it did seem like they're digivolving like really fast for us in this movie.
Yeah, I feel like through the movie it was very clear in each of the like evolutions that they did. Like I knew each one. Yeah, it's just that there was so many that it's hard to keep track of how many times they evolved. I'm like, Jesus. But nonetheless, like they take the data from the emails that Izzy was getting and kind of freeze Diboromon up and them both fuse together. The good ones
that's one of the creepy part, actually. Not with the one, but that one. Whenever they did send the emails and then they slow him down and he's like looking like it's very like creepy. Like if I wake up and that's what I see him just like turning like slowly, like no.
The spider in the corner of your room.
Hell no.
Hell no. Yeah, I have to agree.
Myself and this house and this apartment are going down in flames. Like, no.
That's definitely the end. Oh my God, you're so right. I don't know. Just it kind of remind me of like an old like samurai mask or something like that. And yeah, definitely nightmare fuel for years to come. So that's when we jump into the third act. Koromon. This is a weird one. So and please fill me in if I get anything wrong. This is the third act, and that's when I start to become detached because I thought that was going to be the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
But then they tacked this other one on here. But okay, so long story short, there is this one Digimon Koromon that appears in New York. It's like a weird one that goes with the wind or something like that and can disappear into the wind.
Yeah, that one is ugly.
It's super ugly. I have to agree. It's like wearing this like stupid ass hat.
Yeah.
But like Akari and TK, they're the ones. This is like 4 years, or like this is present day, and so the first act was like 8 years ago. The second act was like 4 years ago, and then this third act is the present day. And Kari and TK are in New York whenever they see Willis, that dude who is emailing Izzy in the second act. They like see this Koromon appear in New York, and they all follow Willis, I don't know, to Colorado. And it's actually really cool because it brings in like the second generation, right, of the Digimon people. And I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. Pokemon 2000 did that a little bit, like with that guy in the Tracy, I think his name is, but we're talking about Digimon, not Pokemon.
well, hold on for a second. I was looking back at like the Pokemon movies, and for some reason, I always thought I watched Pokemon 2000, but I think we watched the first movie,
the one with Mewtwo.
Yeah, what is that one called?
That one's Mewtwo Strikes Back, and that is a classic.
Yes.
Pokemon 2000 is the one with Lugia in it.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've seen that one then.
It's a good one. You should watch it.
I'll watch it, and then I'll go back to listen to it.
Totally.
The episode.
Yeah, so they all start going with all these second gen destined, so to speak. They go to Colorado. They take a train, and this like keeps harassing this Willis kid. This when he's like being really silent. He's not really telling anybody anything of why they're going to Colorado. They just know that there's this Digimon that's about to like fuck up some shit if they don't go to Colorado.
Yeah.
This Koromon, the weird looking one, keeps telling Willis and these hallucinations. It happens on the train and happens whenever they're in a field, but keeps telling this kid Willis to go back to the place that it all began, and it's really vague in that fact, and they're just like, go back, and these kids are like, why are we going back, blah blah blah, and so and we kind of get to a field in Colorado, so nameless field, I guess. It didn't even mention if that was his hometown or something. I guess that's where he grew up, but they kind of have this big clash again. This one definitely wasn't as memorable as I think the one that took place on the internet was.
Yeah, no.
But nonetheless, the Digi-evolutions were also very nightmarish. It went from Koromon to this weird one called Agumon, like tall, slender looking rabbit one. That one was really weird. And then it also digivolves into this like nightmarish looking Cherubimon. I think I'm butchering that one, but it looks like this fucking clown, essentially. It's hard to even describe.
I actually like that one.
Do you? It's
yes.
Yeah.
I don't. The other one, the one before it, what's it called? Antilamon, whatever.
Yeah, the rabbit one.
That one, does it give you like Donnie Darko vibes?
Definitely.
So I only ever seen maybe Donnie Darko like half a time. Like I didn't finish it. This is also like a long ass time ago. But I just remember the rabbit, right?
Yeah.
So for some reason, that other one gives me like Donnie Darko vibes, even though I've only seen like a picture of that rabbit and Donnie Darko.
That was one of the very first episodes of my podcast was Donnie Darko.
Yeah, I remember.
And yeah, no, that bunny gives me the freaks too, and I definitely get the vibes of that. So this like clown Digimon nightmarish looking one, it really overpowered. It's kind of cool. Like each of them attack each of the good Digimon attack it, and there's like these really cool sequences of like getting what's the word when you take off a limb or something?
When you take off a what?
Oh, when you like somebody chops off your limbs, or like your limbs get taken off.
Fuck. You're smarter than I am, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely. Anyway, these appendages are being like knocked off and they're reforming, and it's like really cool animation, and it was really cool. But nonetheless, like this clown one, it has a different power than all of the other Digimon. It has the power to like make them de-evolve. And even make the kids like revert to their child forms, like their teenager form present day, but then they start to revert back to Kari, who was in that beginning act, looks like she did whenever she was back then. I was like, oh, this Digimon's fucked up. It's like changing time. There's a lot of visuals, but in the end, they get these like 2 digi eggs from those angel pair of Digimon, which I really aesthetically I like those 2.
Yes. Angelomon, the best. I love her. I want to be her.
You just want to be her.
I saw a TikTok of this one cosplayer. She was making an Angelomon costume, and I was like, that's a lot of work that I don't have time to put in.
Right.
But I really want to do it. For like Halloween or something.
I do have a problem with that one. It's like, it's so weird. I was reading the names of all the Digimon earlier, just trying to distinguish them. And it had like Angelomon and then Angelowomon. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this?
It gets... confusing.
It's like man and woman. I'm like, okay, all right, I get the point. they're angels and they're different genders. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, they like do something and they get these two like golden digi eggs and they form, which we'll get into my likes here in a minute. But I also really like with the second generation, they start digi-evolving with armor as well.
Yes.
And I like that. I like that a lot. That's one of the reasons why I kind of want to get back into it. I didn't mention it earlier. I was watching, I was doing the research right before we started recording, and there's a third generation with another one that's like the Agumon equivalent and then that blue one equivalent of the second gen. I don't know what the blue one's name is. The one that looks like a fucking seal or something.
From another generation? From
the second generation.
Blue one. I feel like a seal? The one with the horn?
No, it's the Kari's saying like her brother Ty looks like this other guy, or this other guy looks like her brother Ty. His Digimon, the blue one.
Yeah. Fuck, what is his name? I know his name.
Anyways, point being, like the equivalent of like that third generation. There's a third. Oh, okay. Say that again. Vmon, yes. I was like, there was one Digimon that just had a letter and a mon after, and I think it was that one. That one, and then in the third generation, there was also, I think, now I'm like, this is why it's coming back, and this is like, I hadn't thought about this in years, but the third generation of Digimon had like a red Agumon. I don't know its name. I just know that it was red and had like winged ears, and I remember watching that portion of the show like a little bit.
A red Agumon?
Yeah, I'll have to pull it up and show you. But
was it an actual Agumon or one that looked like him?
Let me do a quick Google search so I can waste a little time. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I remember this. Digimon Tamers.
Oh, I love that one. Oh yeah. About
season
3. I heard it sucked. I heard nobody liked it, but I like that one.
Oh, I do. I remember this one. This one definitely is bringing back some memories. Yeah.
I also like the next one. I think it's the next one.
I'm gonna copy and paste this into the document so you can see this.
Well, let me see. 4th gen. Is it 4th gen?
It's at the end of the.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
This like I remember this red Digimon quite a bit. Nonetheless. Yeah, they defeat this clown. I say clown in that he looked like a clown, but it also came off as a joke too. Like this clown of an evil guy who gets fucking smacked back into. No, so they get like swallowed and they kill the virus from within. The golden digi eggs they combine with the armor ones and go into this clown ass and like kill this virus. So
I will say that I was sad that because TK and Kari's Digimon also armor digivolve, but they didn't, and I was sad. I love
they were powering up and then they got knocked out of it, right?
Was that what it was?
I think so. It happened multiple times throughout the movie.
Yeah,
the dude just like knocked him out of.
Yeah, but I was sad that we didn't get Pegasusmon and Nefertimon.
Oh, those are some of your faves.
TK, those are TK, Patamon and Gatsumon's armored digivolution, whatever you say.
One of my faves is the Terriermon, that one with the ears. I remember that one very well from the Digimon Tamers, that third gen one.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, Raciel, I think that's really it with the plot. Let's go ahead and move into our likes. I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, I like Digimon, so obviously the whole thing, right? But No, not really. Because there's some parts that I did not like.
Okay.
I, as much as like I feel like we are missing some pieces to the original like clips from the original movies.
Right.
I like how it's segmented. There's like 3 acts, and it goes from like I guess baby to a little year, like 3 or 4 years after that, into like present day.
Right.
And then I think I brought in the second gen people, the three kids at the in the third act.
Yeah. I have to agree with you because I think I know more of the second gen than I do the first gen. That's why I kind of like the second, or the third act of it.
Yeah.
And it's one thing that Pokemon really didn't do too much. Like I said, in Pokemon 2000, they have that second gen, that Tracy dude there, but it didn't like meld the stories in a movie. They melded it in like the TV show, but nonetheless, I think one of my likes in it is that, with the TV show, this being a movie and Digimon starting out as a TV show, the movie's animation style is definitely bigger budget and it is more fluid compared with the respective TV shows. So I think just the nature of how, I think it's like 24 frames per second, if I'm not mistaken. But just the way it was animated, it looks smoother, like especially that beginning part whenever Greymon and that Parrotmon were fighting. I was like, oh, this fucking looks fucking dope. Like, definitely next level, movie type shit. Definitely not something you're going to get on cartoon TV.
Yeah.
But that was cool. I mentioned it throughout. I really like the Digi evolutions, the armor evolutions that they had. Though there were a lot of them, I enjoyed every single one of them.
That's one thing that I really do enjoy was like seeing them digivolve. And then I mean, this is like not even close to it, but there's one, like I think it's the 4th generation, where they actually turn in the teenage or the kids actually turn into the Digimon themselves. And
I noticed that
evolution thing was cool to me, at least.
I was doing my research and I saw that a kid was like essentially in the Digimon, and I was like, what? This is odd.
Yeah, I started watching it back like a couple of months ago. That season, cause I remember for some reason I'm looking at a picture right now of like I guess like a promo picture or something like that.
Yeah.
From it, and I was like, I remember back whenever this was airing, whenever it was, I was like really into it and like wanted to be like 2 of these Pokemon. Oh my gosh. Wow, 2 of these Digimon. But yeah, that's one of the things that I enjoyed through the whole like this movie and through the whole Digimon show. Like was a when they were evolving, digivolving.
Right. Yeah, the Digi evolutions.
Yeah.
This is definitely off topic from that, but I did like the Y2K vibes that the movie gave off.
Yeah.
Especially in that second part, they were like, "End of the world, nukes are about to happen. This is all because of Y2K. Some virus is going to kill us." And I thought it was funny that it came out in 2000. I mean, it happened after Y2K, or like supposed Y2K theories and shit like that. But, I thought that was quite funny. Like, you can give a visual face to Y2K and it'd be that samurai slow moving spider face.
Oh my god! Yeah. Oh.
And some of my last ones, I really enjoyed the soundtrack to this movie. It had some hits in it. It had Smash Mouth All Star in it. I always think of Shrek when that comes on.
I don't. I think of Digimon.
Do you really?
Because I get it. I get everyone. I get it from Shrek, right? It's in Shrek. Everyone associates it with Shrek. But in my iTunes, I have that song, but in the Digimon soundtrack, like it has a Digimon soundtrack cover.
Oh, nice.
On it. But that's why I never go back to it to Shrek.
Oh, I see.
It's the first one or the second one?
I think it's the first one, if I'm not mistaken.
That's why, because I've always seen the second one more.
The second one with at the end, what is it? I need a hero.
Oh my god!
What's that one lady's name? Not Whitney Houston. Fuck.
What?
The lady who sings that song at the end of Shrek 2. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna drive me crazy. She sung the song. Did like Mad Max.
Is she the one that sings? Who is she? The one that sings?
Let's see.
That one with the she had the fairy godmother, right? That's not the one you're talking about.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna bring up my Spotify. I know exactly where I can find it.
Let's see.
Tina Turner, yo. Okay, that's Tina Turner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, maybe. Hold on, let me. I need. Oh, I guess I must have deleted it. It must have gone on loop, and I deleted it from my like songs. But nonetheless, we were getting off on a tangent. Yeah, like Smash Mouth, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and like Bare Naked Ladies was on there as well. So I really enjoyed the soundtrack.
1 week, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, me too. It's kind of reminds me of the 2000s.
That's another song, which I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming it's probably not one of your favorites because you didn't put it on here. The Kids in America at the end. I also had that song.
Mm-hmm. You know what movie I think of whenever I think of that song?
What movie?
I think of Jimmy Neutron.
I never watched Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, that's a shame. The movie is not bad.
We didn't have cable or satellite growing up, so until like high school, and then even then it only lasted for like 5 months.
Brief moments, yeah.
Yeah,
you were almost out of the house at that point.
Yeah, so it was like Jimmy Neutron was never a thing in our house.
Damn.
It wasn't on PBS, so.
Right, yeah. Whatever it was on, you were watching Zaboomafoo.
Yeah.
Eduardo, I like a lot, but I also dislike a lot. Let's go ahead and get into our dislikes.
Okay.
What do you not like about this movie?
I didn't like that they didn't put in. I already just mentioned this like 5 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. I didn't like that they didn't put in Patamon or Gatomon's armor digivolution at the end, because they're
character design?
Those are one of my favorites. Pegasusmon is one of my favorites. I wanted to make something that instead of the egg that I told you that I made earlier in sculpture and ceramic, whatever class it was. Sculpture or no, not sculpture. Whatever class it was. Sorry. I wanted to make something with Pegasusmon, because his armor digivolution. So that's one thing. There's also this little side storyline with Sora, with Tai, and I feel like there's something cut out because of that storyline. When she's like, the
email,
and like her hat, and then it just ends because I think right as soon as she gets the email because the internet goes back on or whatever, or after they defeat the virus Pokemon, she gets the email, right? And then like that
she like closes her computer almost immediately after. Yeah, she just glanced at it.
Yeah, and then when it's transitioning to like the third act, Kari's like, yeah, Sora still hasn't talked to Tai or something like that. She said that she was like narrating, and I think Sora pops up, and then she's like, yes. Sora still hasn't talked to Tai yet, and I was like, it's been like 4 years. Like, what?
Ghosted his ass, Jesus.
But yeah,
you are right. You are right. That I didn't even notice it. They kind of really swept them under the rug, that little storyline. Because you're right. At the end of the second one, she gets that email, and she's like, okay, blah, 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 and then closes her phone, and then it gets into the third act, and it's like you said, Kari mentions it for like a brief second, but nothing more.
I also wish that they had the other I guess that was trying to do something with like keeping a suspense. Like, oh, there's only 2 of us that can fight the virus. Like, I wish they had like the whole group. And they were also missing Mimi. And
Mimi is. I really like her. She wasn't in this movie at all, but I remember from the TV show that she had this really cool cactus-looking one.
Yeah,
we had like the toy. One of my sisters had like the toy or something of it.
What?
I was like,
oh my gosh,
dope shit. I like it. It's like it was like a cactus with boxing gloves.
Yeah, is that the toy where you can like change it and then it digivolves, like it changes to a different form? Or no?
I think this one just like rotated and it was like punching. Okay. If memory serves me correctly. Okay,
because I remember I had a Parrotmon that I think it was an egg, and then you could just change it around, and it's the Parrotmon. And then we were cleaning outside one time, and I found one of the wings, and I still have one of the wings around here somewhere. I'm like, this is like from my childhood. I'm gonna keep this as Parrotmon here.
You're gonna keep this lone Parrotmon ear, waiting to reunite it with its toy, the base toy.
I was looking at them on eBay, see how much they cost. They weren't that much, but. So I might just buy one. Right,
yeah. Hey, if it's a piece of nostalgia for you, I'm sure it's worth it, more than worth it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I mentioned it earlier. I hate the names of the Digimon. I specifically noted down Parrotmon. Like, okay.
Oh my god, Parrotmon.
What the fuck? Like, okay, I get it. He's a parrot. Yeah, he shoots electricity.
I wonder what his name was in Japan.
Good point. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I have a feeling it wasn't Parrotmon.
If it's any equivalent, I'm going to be sadly disappointed.
Probably Japanese, so I don't know.
Say what?
I can't read Japanese, so I don't know.
Me either, so we're both at a disadvantage there. My last dislike with the movie is that in ways it definitely seemed disjointed. I was mentioning earlier, like especially from Act 1 to Act 2, they did not specify if that Agumon was Tai's Agumon or his Agumon from the TV show, or if it was a whole completely new Agumon. And that's why it like had me really confused when the pink ball Koromon digivolved into Agumon, and Agumon was like this simple-minded, and I always thought Agumon was like that, very talkative and like, hey Tai, what's up, and then I get this like actually like T-Rex, like you fucking move, it's gonna destroy your ass, like type of Digimon, and I'm like, okay, this is odd. That was odd, and then like,
I just would say like there was like something that to bring in at least like even with the other characters. I mean, I think Kari, she did talk about the other like Matt, TK, and all that Sora and others, but like if you're like just new, like this is your first Digimon watching, I was like, who are these kids? So like, cause it was only Izzy. No, not even Izzy. Izzy wasn't in the first part, right? The first act. Oh my gosh.
Not in the first half. It was just Kari and Tai in that one, and then the second one was
so
just
it's like
Izzy and Tai. Yeah.
It was just like you're supposed to know all these other
kids' names. Like, well, to be fair, wouldn't you
only
go watch the movie if you had watched the TV show before? Excuse me.
True.
So,
but I feel like there's like a thing in like movies that they also put in something. So if it is your first time watching it, unless it's like Digimon 4, right? Like they're not gonna introduce each character every single movie, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, you're probably right. So.
Yeah. I don't know. That's interesting to think about. I may dig a little deeper into it. Like I said, I tangentially know Digimon. I know what they look like. I don't know their names because of all the Mons, but I know 2 now. I know Parrotmon and Vmon. The simplest it can get. But Raciel, let's go ahead and do you have anything else you want to bring up before we kind of wrap it up here?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Let's get into the awards closing segment. Let's start off with the classic or bust award. For me personally, it's going to have to be a bust. This movie. However, this is a big however. It had awesome visuals and it piqued my interest in Digimon again. I did not see one of my other likes I didn't mention. I didn't see my nightmare Pokemon in the movie, so there's that. I think it skipped past. Because I think Matt's Digimon who's that one, and it skipped past his wolf evolution and it went straight to that mega evolution one, and I was like, woo, thank God.
Myself.
Yeah, I didn't want to see that. But so Raciel, is this a classic or is this a bust for you? I can only assume a classic, you know.
I was gonna say classic as like a joke. But
yeah,
I think I agree with you. As much as I love Digimon, I came over here like I was saying how I like Digimon more than Pokemon in third grade. And for some reason in my head, but I agree with you. I say
you're betraying third grade Raciel right now. He's very disappointed in you.
He's fine.
He's fine. Yeah, you're right. Trust me, I know.
He also thought he was. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
Say what? You kind of cut out.
Oh no! I said never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll save it for another time then. I wanted to this second award, the least important character award. I'm gonna have to give it to Ty's mom. She distracted Izzy in a crucial moment where like Ty like fucked up the computer. I don't think we mentioned it in the plot, but like he runs away from drinking the potato juice and jerky smoothie to run to the bathroom, and Ty like fucks something up. And he like comes back, and so fuck you, Ty's mom, for making Izzy had to go to the bathroom.
True.
Let's see. And the last one the last award that I'm gonna get.
Well, can I give a least important character award to Sora? Because why was she there?
Which one was that one?
She's the girl that Ty was trying to email.
Oh yes, is a love interest?
Yeah,
you are right. Yeah, definitely. She's definitely up there. She should have gotten the award. My award. That's a good one. I should have thought of that one myself. Maybe even Mimi. I would throw in there too, because all I saw of her was like her kicking it on some beach or something. Tan.
No, she was after being with that cactus all the time, riding
you got to be on the beach for a plan of that nature.
Yeah.
And so my last award, this is I'm going to take a back seat to this award, goes to all the fucking kids who are sending all those emails.
Oh my god.
At first it was like a real hindrance. It did in the end help them win, but these fucking kids, like they were just like, I want to email this guy. He sounds like he's
why are they emailing him? Like why are they emailing him? Like how they get his email? Like what?
That is a good point. How does this kid's like email just like in mass?
Yeah. Because they were all into Izzy's email, right? Or
yeah, from the way the movie was saying it, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't. This is okay. Sure.
Do you have any special awards you want to give out, Raciel?
I can't think of one though. So.
Okay, cool. Let's move into. Go ahead.
I said I second yours.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, these fucking kids. I hate them. I don't even think they know how to email.
Yeah, I didn't know how to email. How do they?
That's a good one. Sometimes I feel like I don't either. Okay, let's move into the trivia part. So my piece of trivia, it actually connects to what I was saying earlier. It says this is the first appearance of Parrotmon, Koromon, Agumon, and Greymon, although it's not the same ones as Tai had in the TV series. And when I read this piece of trivia, I was like, okay, what the fuck? What the fuck? I'm so confused.
Oh, wait, I'm confused.
Yeah, so apparently the ones that appeared whenever he was a kid, that's not the same one that he has in the TV show.
Oh, okay. It means like in Tai's life, these are the first appearance?
Yeah.
Okay, not in like in the Digimon universe, like in the what we see, like the show or the movie, right?
Right. Yeah, like they're two separate ones. Because he's like,
yeah.
Whenever I was reading it, it said that the Greymon from the first act, it's called Red Greymon and not Greymon, like he has in the Greymon. The one in the TV show. And I was like, this is so fucking weird. I wish they would explain that one more. But nonetheless, Raciel, what's your trivia?
Okay, my trivia is the references to Willis were not in the original Japanese version because I think one of the first ones. Let me just double check, but I think one of the first ones is called Our War Game. And then it was, and then it went to Hurricane Touchdown. What are these actually? Wait, hold on. I think these are the names of the shorts, short films from the Japanese ones. And he wasn't referencing the first two. So like in those two, he didn't exist in those.
Oh,
so
interesting.
So I think he
kind of got shoveled into the second act.
Because I don't think they don't. If I remember correctly, they didn't show any like clips of him talking in the second act, right?
Yeah, no, it just showed like his little picture on the email or whatever.
And it had like, is he like, oh yeah, I got an email from Willis from the US, whatever. So like they could have just added that.
Right.
So, like,
yeah, you're right.
So it's just a little seed, like, oh look, we're gonna bring up Willis like in the third act.
Oh. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even notice that whenever the movie was going on. I was just like, oh, cool. It didn't seem out of place whatsoever.
Yeah.
Huh. That is a good piece of trivia because I didn't know that until you told me it earlier that this was like three separate things and then they got stitched together.
I think I found that out because I watched it maybe like what's today, 2021? I think I watched it like 5-6 years ago, like the last time I did, and I was reading up on that, and then I saw that, but I really wish that I would have looked for the original for the three shorts, so I can just compare them, I guess, to see what they were to like compared to this Digimon the movie, the one that pieced all three of those together.
Right. Huh.
But yeah.
It's quite interesting, though. Definitely piqued my interest. I'm definitely going to watch a little bit more Digimon than I used to.
Maybe look up Agumon. Not in this. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to make a stupid joke. It's just not worked out.
Getting dizzy with all the Mons around.
Agumon is the one that you hate. So I was trying to say like go to Garurumon some website and then tell you which episodes to skip and say you gotta skip one.
That's awesome. That would be much appreciated. I'd rather avoid that reoccurring nightmare to begin again. That would suck.
I think stick to the second generation because the first one he's also a main one, so he's gonna pop up a lot.
Well, damn. Maybe I just want to get around it. I'm just gonna have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to kick back into that gear. I'm ready to face him. I need to get a dream catcher. That's what I need.
Oh my gosh, yeah, get one of those.
Right. Okay, Raciel, if you don't have anything else, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So firstly, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the You Haven't Seen That Movie podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Also, a big thank you to my guest Raciel for joining me. I had a great time.
Thank you. I did too. I will say, I heard you say Eduardo another time.
Oh, shit. I did.
I want to go back and count how many times.
Yes, you should, and I'll put it in.
It is my middle name, though. It is my middle name. So you're not really. You're technically not wrong.
Is it really? Wait, does that mean his name's Eduardo Raciel Camargo?
Yes, it does.
Is it really? Oh my god. Yes. Okay, I learned a fun fact today. It sounds like your parents were lazy in naming you.
She had to wait after 2 hours. She's like, screw it. Screw it.
Oh my god, that is
Jonathan doesn't have a middle name, though. Jonathan doesn't have one.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
She's like,
the good old JC. The good old JC.
You don't have a middle name.
Oh, that's awkward conversation. Like, huh? You don't have one? I'm gonna have to confront him with that. I think Kyle lives with him, right? Or they work together. They work together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's odd. I just feel like, hey, what's your middle name, sir? Good sir.
He doesn't care.
I know.
It doesn't mean anything. He'd be like, I don't care. They're the oldest. I don't like their ugly ass middle names anyway.
That sounds like something Jonathan would say.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, check out Raciel on the Shit You Don't Care About podcast with his twin Eduardo. And wait, did I mess up your names again?
No.
Okay, I was like, damn it, no. I did it again. No, so check out Raciel, Eduardo, and Maria on the Shit You Don't Care About podcast. It's a great one. Mm-hmm. Raciel, do you right offhand? Do you have a plug you can throw in, or I can just put it in the show notes if you want.
Just a podcast. Or you can follow me on Twitter. What is my Twitter name? My name is Rachi. Rachi. This is a nickname. Did you? No, actually, never mind. I thought you were in Jonathan's class, not the grade above it. Yeah, my name is Rachi on Twitter. Okay. I'm on there.
Yeah.
Posting a lot.
Very cool. Well, we always enjoy that. I always enjoy listening to y'all's podcasts, and I'm sure I would love to be on y'all's. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Cool.
We're gonna have you one day.
So if you want to show your support for the You Haven't Seen That Movie podcast, check out our Facebook at facebook.com/YHSTMP and on Instagram at Instagram/YHSTMP podcast. Like this movie, hate it, let me know by calling our voicemail. Like I said before, Instagram and Facebook, literally it's like if you click on our profile, there's the call button right there. It couldn't be easier. But other than that, Raciel, I hope you have a good one, but we'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.